Welcome to Child 2020 Online, Communities of Teachers and Learners. Hi, I'm Marisa from Fukushima, and I would like to share with you the impact of narrative book writing autonomy to promote joy in the classroom. In a situation where students show low levels of motivation and the lack of interest in English, can positive affective dynamics still be part of the classroom experience? This study considers how promoting students' autonomy can be an important factor that increases the overall level of happiness and satisfaction of both students and teachers in a Japanese university English class. Teachers have the agency to operate on a continuum between rigid control and allowing permissive freedom on the part of their students. And in this study conducted at a university in the Tohoku region between 2017 and 2019, 225 university students were given a high degree of freedom and independence in script writing and co-creating storybooks centered on their own lived experiences. They produced various mini books focused not only on promoting positive psychology but also on how to improve their physical health. And the combination of narrative activity and autonomy led to increased joy and interconnectedness both between students and with their teachers and generally within the class. So the autonomy that students savored, kindled their self-determination and motivation from within as they cultivated shared intention and goals. And after Freire in 2000, who wrote that when teachers and students are free and equal, they can learn together to think critically and create a more positive society. And that is what we did in our classroom. This research hypothesized that providing autonomy motivates students to finish tasks with their classmates and promotes confidence and happiness. And here are the steps students followed to finish their tasks. So 225 students were given autonomy to write their own storybooks and present the same topics during the skit presentation in the classroom as a part of English communication class syllabus. So first, now students were given the autonomy to choose whom they wanted to work with for the completion of the task, and they were allowed to choose topics and ways of writing based on their personal interests and strengths. And then they asked to start brainstorming with the group members about what topic, what messages and characters they wanted to put in their storybook. Students of general English conversation were requested to focus on the messages of the storybooks based on their own or someone else's experiences. And then the inclusion of messages related to the promotion of happiness, kindness, friendship, connectedness, reduction of stress, and the importance of being healthy physically and mentally was highly encouraged. And then the students were asked to write their scripts in their L1, and that is Japanese, so as to express their ideas naturally and deeply. And then English translation based on the original Japanese stories' nuance was done with their teacher. During this polishing period, vocabulary input and then grammatical structures were carefully explained. And in this process, connectedness and trust between students and teachers were developed. And then after 3 polishing stages, constructive corrections and the kind of caring communication with the students were offered. And finally, students were encouraged to use the same stories they wrote in their skit presentation to strengthen not only their speaking ability, but their interpersonal connectedness as well. The components of my autonomous classroom environment were the students' autonomy, their connectedness to each other, and positive psychology intervention in class. These three were always present so as to ensure the attainment of their happiness, joy, and satisfaction. Here is a list of titles of some of the narrative books they made. Most of these stories are semi-fiction and based on their own experiences. The titles in red are those that I will now go on to introduce more later on in the presentation. And the students now, so were asked about their feelings when they were writing their narratives, narrative story books. As you can see, 82% revealed that they were happy, and then 20% had pleasant feelings, and then found it interesting and enjoyed themselves. And 30% said that their writing a narrative storybook was difficult, but in a positive way. So negative feelings about these tasks were it's troublesome, and I don't know want to do it. Of course, some students really don't want to do this task, and they felt nervous, and then they felt ashamed, and they found it quite difficult, but very minimal compared to those who really did it now. And then here, I'd like to share with you an image of some of the students enjoying autonomy and sense of connection as they finish their tasks. So these students really put their feelings into their work, and I hope to convey this to you now by reading a narrative story in a form of dialogue. Here is the first storybook that I would like to share, and this is about how to get rid of stress. So the title now, so before I share with you one of the books titled Let's Get Rid of Stress, I'd like to share the general information in this slide. So you will see the book focus here. This is about the stress reduction and the importance of connectedness. And then the runtime, so it's about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And then the authors, here are their names. And then the illustrators are also, of course, the authors. And then book characters. So it's quite interesting that they chose this Rakukun. Rakukun is a very convenient and convenient Rakukun. And then the Negakun, they chose the negative. So one of the characters actually is always negative, so they gave him a name of Negakun. And then Sumayru-chan, so which is the smiling, always smiling now. And then the Anguri-kun is the always angry character. And then, of course, the ages, the target ages for this book is about 20 and above. And genre is about semi-fiction. And text structure is dialogue, and then themes and idea, get rid of stress, connectedness, and friendship. And then language and literacy features. So feeling words such as sigh indicate feelings, exclamation marks used to indicate feelings, and then also some phrases that they got now. And then vocabulary, get rid of, and then stress, eliminate, connectedness, bankruptcy, laughter, feeling, breakfast, concentration, achievement, improve, relax, merit, reduction, relief, and tension. So these are the key words now, so that students had to remember after the presentation. Just a reminder to all, okay? So what I'm going to share is what students did. So you will surely notice some mistakes, but I prefer to have mistakes now because I told them that it's okay, it's fine to have mistakes because you have to embrace the mistakes because from there you will grow. And so after the 3 polishing stages, so they did the final book, and of course the book was not perfectly done, but I accepted it now. So it only shows that they did everything themselves, by themselves. So now let's go. Let's get rid of stress. There were 4 people working together in a company. Rakukun. Good morning, everyone. Let's have another fun day today. Nega. It's not fun because the thing repeats every day. I like this work. Let's get started early then. And then the narrator said, then suddenly the company announced bankruptcy. You know what? Employees became negative with stress and anger. No worry, let's make everyone smile and laugh. I agree. That's a good idea. Do you know the importance of laughter? Yeah, of course. I have read a lot of books about it. Do you think that we can do it? Of course, we can do it. Then the narrator. 4 of them went to see the company's president. They told him about the employees' negative feelings. Good morning, Mr. President. Could you please make the starting work time a bit late than usual so that everybody can eat breakfast? What what do you think is the effect of eating breakfast? It fuels your mind and body. That is also good for your brain. It improves your concentration and achievement. Okay. All right, let's try it. An adjusted working hour was implemented. Everybody had enough energy, increased concentration, and no longer frustrated, despite what happened. But there were still people still cannot eliminate stress. There are still some people who cannot eliminate stress. Yeah, what should I do? I heard it before that relaxing effect can be felt when you hug the person you like. Connectedness is very important. Human touch is important. But I don't have a girlfriend. Me neither. What to do? Me neither. I don't have a boyfriend. Me neither. I don't have a girlfriend. But don't worry, we can connect with other people in different ways. No good. I want to go home early to drink alcohol. Yeah, alcohol, that's it. What? Why don't we go out and drink together moderately? In that way, we can connect through chatting and sharing our feelings. Yeah, that plan is good. I'm on it. However, I don't know how to talk with other people. Don't worry, because we are here. Why don't we suggest it to the president? Nice idea. Then 4 of them went to the president to tell him about their suggestion. That's a good idea. What are the merits of it? Merits? To be connected to each other. It leads to stress reduction, relieves mental tension after drinking alcohol moderately. How nice! Let's hold a drinking party today then. The next day, They were talking about the improvements in the company and how they had fun in a company drinking party. It was a good proposal, right? Yes, it was really good. Yeah, I think I also became a bit positive. I am not frustrated anymore. I feel better and connected to all of you. Me too. I'm no longer frustrated. Now I know the secret. It's a positive attitude and connectedness with each other. We are all human and we need it. After that, all of the company's employees started eating breakfast and thinking positive. They started talking and chatting with their colleagues more often than before. Everybody will continue their best despite what happened in their company. The end. And here you can see the Japanese version. Students were supposed to write the Japanese version below the English version, but were not able to because they didn't finish it on time. So they wrote it at the back instead. Okay, so well, the book itself is touching, right? But if we reflect on the process of writing, we can see how the intervention of positive psychology was included to strengthen the affective environment such as love, joy, hope, fun, pride, oh, and many others. Once autonomy is achieved and students understand what, why, and how the task should be carried out, the power of control to finish it can be found within them. One very positive characteristic of an autonomous classroom is the strong emphasis on pair and group work as means to develop learner autonomy and be less dependent on the teacher. This was recognized 20 years ago by Jacob and Farrell in 2001. Okay, so now to the next narrative story, which is based on someone else's story. Here is some information about the second story about Tiffany. So the focus of the book is about forgiveness, jealousy, and then in the end, friendship now. And then runtime is about 3 minutes, and then authors, and then illustrators, and then book character. So the names of the characters of the book are Tiffany, Kupani, Johnny, and Michael. It's quite cute names, though. And then ages, target ages now, so 4 and above. And then genre is about semi-true story. And then dialogues, text structures, dialogue, and then themes and ideas, forgiveness, friendship, happiness, language and literacy feature, feeling words as size indicate again, exclamation marks used to indicate feelings, and then vocabulary, favorite, dull, suddenly, appear, and then promise, and then bully. So they were required to remember all this vocabulary at the end of the presentation. Because of the time limitation, I'll just show you the book and then you will surely notice the mistakes. And I myself noticed them when they submitted it, but I told them it was fine to make mistakes. So as it is, part of their journey in learning a second language, so that they have to embrace mistakes positively to learn and grow. So they were happy actually when I accepted the book, even there were some mistakes now. And finally, in the last part of the book, the book attained its goal to convey the message of forgiveness and friendship. And here is the detail of the third book, A Solitary Sad Elephant. And the book information, you will see here that the focus of the book is about kindness and then self-acceptance. And then if you will read it, it will actually run about 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And the authors, 5 of them, and the illustrators also, 5 of them help each other. And then the book characters, they gave the names Don Juan, Cherubit, Nofon, and Banky March. And then the focus ages of this book is about from 4 to 10. And then the genre is actually the semi-true story, and then text structure is dialogue, of course, and then the themes and ideas is about kindness, self-acceptance, happiness, and friendship, and then the vocabulary, solitary, and then sad, friend, and help. Just like Tiffany book, I will just show you the pictures, and I'm sure you will notice the posted suggestions and corrections for the improvement of the book. So this is actually the first draft. So students were pretty sad after the first draft checking, but they show they're great and to finish the task. And again, the aim of the book to convey the message of friendship and connectedness was achieved. And here is the typewritten final script of the Solitary Sad Elephant book. And then, so one of the benefits of a skit presentation is that it improves students' communicative ability. Students were asked about their feelings about skit presentation. And then as you can see in the graph, some negative feelings were present, and actually more than the script writing and book writing, right? And this included the sense that the skit drama presentation was difficult, nervousness, and nervous now, so finding it troublesome and not wanting to do it. However, most students were happy and enjoyed the presentation, and then they found it interesting and reported having a pleasant feeling after the presentation. Let's talk a little now about how we've appraised this project from an educational perspective. Both oral and written assessments were carried out, which examined the content, vocabulary, grammatical input, and reported and observed connectedness while developing these storybooks. Assessment of skit presentations of the completed story script was also done. In this case, students were assessed based on clarity of voice, audience impact during the presentation, not blocking audience view, script memorization, facial expression, and body language. And prior to the assessment, both scripts in various stages of development, which is from first draft to third draft, were presented to a panel of judges made up 3 colleagues who assisted voluntarily with the assessment. These gave them insight into the way the student's task has developed. I got the joy, 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 that in my heart, that in my heart, that in my heart. I got the joy, 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 that in my heart, that in my heart to say. Okay. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Oh, down in my heart. Wow, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I got the oh, 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 oh. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart, I got the oh, 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 down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. But how about teachers? As we saw a while ago, the three videos of different versions of Joy song, how students actually amazingly ace the presentations. I mean, they have three different versions. Actually, every classes had their own versions, and each group. So, but I chose only three, and I was really surprised how good these students, and they're very creative in a way. So, but how about teachers? So effective teachers and leaders already know that the key to sustained success is through an engaged, motivated, and productive environment. Yet, not every teacher or leader knows how to create this in their own environment, right? So, when teachers ensure that their students experience meaningful connection, autonomy, the mastery, and purpose, and the progress, they will perform well, and then they will feel happy and grow with their peers rather than feeling unmotivated. Sonia Lyubomirsky, one of the positive psychologist's important promoters, defines happiness as the experience of joy, contentment, or positive well-being, combined with the sense that one's life is good, meaningful, and worthwhile. To this great definition, we can add the positive rejoinder and call to action: be, do happy, which we'll return to at the end of this presentation. Also, as a result of the focus on connectedness during this project, the importance of relationship and the problems people have communicating their needs and wants emerge, and that is from Biddulph in 1988. And some of our most powerful needs are emotional from the time of birth and throughout our lives, and present in every context of our lives. We might consider that when the 7 needs listed in this slide are met, we are well on the way to solving whatever relationship issues may arise. And this applies both generally and in an educational context as well. And these are attention. It is about listening and focusing on someone, and then affection is about showing love through emotion, either physically or verbally or other indirect ways. And then third is the acknowledgement, which is about identifying and witnessing the existence of someone's needs, feelings, actions, desires, ideas that makes them unique. And then fourth is the apology. So this is about saying you are sorry for harming others. Everyone hurts each other to different degrees, or so we all need to learn how to apologize and ask for forgiveness. And then acceptance is allowing people to be who they are in this moment. I am who I am, and you are who you are. And then approval is agreeing with and liking, supporting, and encouraging how another person is in this moment, or for what they have achieved and stand for. And then the last is appreciation. It is about showing gratitude, which is very important for what others give you, including their impact on you. So these 7 A's are actually well shared by Charlton in 2018. Based on students' questionnaire feedback about the narrative book writing and skip presentation, grit, resilience, satisfaction, and happiness were reported, despite the restricted feelings they had before they started the tasks. As Minard and Ludwig in 2014 said, autonomous learning is not a specific outcome, but an ongoing process which requires teachers and students to constantly evaluate and critically reflect on their teaching and learning, not only to be successful, but also with overriding satisfaction and joy. And throughout the ages, philosophers and mystics have told us that being happy is achieved through absolute presence to and acceptance of what is right now. Being happy is an inner state of well-being that we alone are able to create for ourselves through personal practices like exercise, meditation, gratitude, selfless contribution, and detachment from outcome. And that is from Do Happy 2020. And the other state, Do Happy, which is I really like to share to you about this, is that warm sense of contentment and satisfaction with how we are spending our time, infused with the motivation to keep moving forward. And it has purpose, it has momentum, it has drive, all vital aspects in the educational process. In future work, I intend to explore in more details the impact of positive psychology and connectedness, as mentioned in one of the 7 principles of connectedness. This may help again even further understandings of the impact of these books to promote student psychological well-being. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that someday I will be able to read to you again some of the storybooks that my students wrote. Thank you.